All right, set 5, building the number path to 20 and missing numbers. Let's see what we have on the agenda for Monday. All right, so on Monday, students will see the number path, which is a little bit different than a number line because number lines typically have those dashes, and number paths are a little bit more developmentally appropriate at this age because they can see the chunk that makes the number. But we'll say, what number comes next when we count? So I see we end at 10. What number comes after 10? Can you write it on your boards? Give students a chance to write. What number comes after 10? Have kids shout it out. 11. Check your board. Does your 11 look like this? Make sure you write it a few times. Show me when you have it written. So that's basically the gist. We will walk students through numbers all the way to 15 on Monday, and we'll end with some missing number puzzles. So let me show you that real quick. We'll say, what number is missing? Look where the big red star is and the question mark. Can you figure out which number is missing? Write it on your board. And then look around when students have written on their board. Let's see if you got it. 13. 13 is the number that was missing. Write it on your board. And in a later day, we will start asking them how they know. You could throw it in now early because it doesn't hurt before they write it. All right, Tuesday is pretty much the same. Tuesday, students will be building out the numbers 16 through 20 and then end with missing numbers. So we're going to go to Wednesday and see how we mix it up. On Wednesday, students have now built out the entire number line, and we're going to focus on missing numbers that look a couple different ways. The first way, we'll have a few examples for students to practice, and it'll be more highly scaffolded. So if you see students can use the number line to help them figure out what number is missing. So we'll say, what number is missing? Write it on your boards. And then before you reveal it, say, how do you know? And get your students to have a discussion. Maybe some will say, well, I know 15 comes after 14, or I know I see the 5 above the question mark, so I know that the next one's going to be 15 because I can see the pattern of 2 and 12, 3 and 13, 4 and 14, and so on. And you can even point out these patterns to your students. So we'll show 15 and then have them write it. There's one other type of missing number I will show you. And so in this one, students don't have the scaffolds of the full number path. So we'll ask them, what number does the trapezoid represent? And we get to bring in that language of shapes again to review. So students will have to look 13, 14, 15, trapezoid 17. What could the trapezoid be? Write it on your boards. Look around. How do you know? Have students explain, and then write it on their boards and practice. So that's essentially what happens Wednesday and Thursday is they have the scaffolded missing number, and then they have the less scaffolded missing number. And then on Friday, it's pretty similar. We just have one ending challenge that is even a little bit more challenging. I'll show you that right now. All right, and that last challenge for Friday is a couple examples where you say, something is missing. What is it? And students have to figure out which number is missing in the sequence. Write it down once you figured it out. You can ask them, how do they know? And then have them write it. So that is this week. Learning the number line and finding missing numbers to help students focus in on not having to start at the very beginning to fill in the number line. Drop any questions you have in the comments.